Happy Halloween! We opened our month of examining fear with the creator, where we explored our innate fears of technology outsmarting us. We followed that up with Gone Girl, the very real fear of losing a loved one, as well as the evidence looking like you did it. While everyone was not on the same page, we watched Into the Woods, where anything can happen there. Last week, we grappled with the want for more time and our own mortality when we watched Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Tonight, on Halloween, we ditched the subtext and actually watch a horror movie, Five Nights at Freddy's. Joining us for the first time, we welcome.
Evie. Most people call me Evie, but you can call me Mileyda.
I'm at.
I'm Chad. Have a seat, grab a blanket if you need to cover your eyes, and enjoy not just the 132nd episode, but also the Halloween episode of your award-winning podcast. We used to talk about this at work.
He did the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. He did the Monster.
Wow, Chad. I want to say, like, normally you stumble on this, you put some extra, you ran this off like this was professional. I'm proud of you this week. We about to hit the ground running this week.
Thank you. To be honest, like like normally I'll just write it and then just go about my day. But I wrote it, I reread it, I read it again, I edited it. Like I was ready. I was fucking ready. But yeah, man, we're back. It's Halloween. Like, dropping an episode on actual Halloween. So the time for edits is like so small that if there's mistakes, tough. But
hey, I mean, with that being said, it's a special Halloween episode, and I guess I'm dressed up as Gear Fifth Luffy. Evie got her leopard all. You going as what? Editing, Chad?
I am editing Chad. Yes, I am. I'm going as laid off work Chad. How about that? I don't know. I'm spitballing. I don't know. I'm on the spot. But all right. So yeah, so we got a guest this week. It's someone that I don't know, but someone that you used to work with. And I love how you said your name's Evie, but don't call you Evie, call you something longer than your name. And I'm like, what is
No,
happening here?
that's not the factual situation. My name is Mileyda Evangelista Escaño Tillman. But most people call me Evie. My name is Mileyda, but most people call me Evie. In the Navy, you go by your last name, which
All
would
right.
have been Evangelista, and that was a mouthful, so it became Evie.
Okay. So you just had to like conform for these fucking assholes around you.
I mean, the passive aggressiveness is not
Mhm.
wasn't so passive in the Navy.
I can imagine. I can imagine. So, you and Matt were in the Navy together. Like,
Mhm.
do you have like a short story involving the two of you?
I mean, shoot. I mean, I got in the Navy. That was my first duty station when we met. I'm not even sure if that was your first duty station, Mal, was it?
Yes.
Okay, so it was both our first duty station, but I was a diesel mechanic and you served in like the ship for supply. And
Yeah.
so
SH.
yeah, like logistics basically. And I was a diesel mechanic. And but in the Navy you do like a 3 month tour where you serve in the kitchen, so you know like that part of it. And that's when we met and just kind of hit it off. Like he's just a cool dude and was never like disrespectful. He was already dating who he's married to already, so it was just easy to sort of get along.
I
Mhm.
fucking love what you're not saying when you said so respectful. That is so funny. I love that. I love
It's
that.
yeah.
I'm a gentleman. What are you talking about, man? I'm a gentleman.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Mhm, mhm,
So,
mhm.
we have a array of topics tonight. So, since this is a Halloween episode, let's open with this. You want to talk about women in horror?
Yeah, please. So the question that I asked you guys was, what's your like heroine for a Halloween movie or horror movie or
So for me,
when you think horror?
I would say Ripley in the Alien series. Like especially in that first
Oh,
movie
such a
where,
badass.
I'm not sure if you guys have seen that meme where it's basically saying like if they would have just listened to women, none of that would have happened because like I believe like she was like the security officer or something like that. And like she was all like
Mm-hmm.
protocol says we cannot leave the ship. They left
Let's
the ship.
go.
Protocol says we cannot let y'all back on the ship when y'all have been attacked by something. They got back on the ship. And it's like, what are we doing here, guys? Why do we have these rules? If she was a man, they probably would have listened. No, they wouldn't have listened to her. But even
They wouldn't have listened.
yeah, so it's like, yeah,
It was a horror movie, but still,
so mine is Ellen Ripley.
Mine would
that could
be
really fit in.
Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween,
Okay.
but not the
Yeah.
beginning, not like the first couple of them. I guess when she gets older, like the later half of it, to where she's not just running around doing things, where she's
H2
actually,
H2O.
yeah, like the later ones, where she's
Yeah.
where she's strong, a strong female lead.
Okay.
Like the not just the what's it called, like final girl
Yes.
for the
Yes.
horror
Yes,
movie, but like an actual
yes,
heroine. Yeah, for
yes.
me, mine is equal monster and heroine. For me, is Carrie. I just think
Oh, okay.
she's monster and she's heroine, all stacked up into just fucked up. I wish that they would do a good follow-up movie to that in like a creative
Wait, what
way.
movie did you say? What did you say?
He said
Carrie.
Carrie.
Oh,
Carrie.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's yeah, they because they had the with the Carrie 2 in the 90s, and then after that they just kept remaking the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like with the boys, like they do interesting things. Like I wish they would do something like Carrie versus Jason. Like I want to see that fight. But
That would be interesting. Huh.
Yeah, they
Okay.
need more
women in
females
horror
like
would
that.
need a little bit more accolade, and it's more like brute force. But it happens. Hopefully one day.
There's money to be made, so it will happen. We just have to wait it out. But on the topic of Stephen King adaptations, so Carrie is your favorite Stephen King story?
No, I mean there's so many of his stories that are super sidetracked. I like Salem's Lot. I think the best.
What's that one about?
Uh, it's about a vampire taking over a town very quiet.
Yeah, and they made that a movie, right?
Yeah, but like back in the 80s,
Okay,
I think
okay.
Willem Dafoe is in it.
Ooh. Oh, he's the
Uh,
vampire, of course. Of course, yeah.
You have to watch it.
What about you, Matt?
um, Thinner. Was that Stephen King?
Ooh, I believe so.
He's so prolific. It's kind of insane.
I think that was one of his
Mhm.
short stories, but yeah, Thinner. Why is that, Matt?
I don't know. It's like I watched the movie and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good premise, but like then the other one first became no wait, maybe that wasn't Stephen King. I was about to say Invisible Man.
Oh no,
Was that
Mm,
Stephen
that's
King?
no, I
no,
wasn't Stephen King.
that's a very old story. That's like public
That's
domain
like
old.
science fiction from like the 40s, 1940s.
Let me see. Let me look this up real quick.
Well, yeah, like I feel like they made the movie like in the 40s with the Universal monsters, but I feel like that was like a character like in books before that, like probably from like the 1800s. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be cliched and say The Shining. Like it's a
I was
very
about to say, will
yeah.
no one say The
Ooh, I take that back.
Shining? She was
I take
in
that
real
back.
life.
The Secret Window. I love The Secret Window.
That was Stephen
Oh, I
King?
love that one too. Yes,
Yeah,
Johnny Depp is
yeah,
in it.
I did not
yeah. I
realize
love that
that.
one.
Okay. Okay, I did not realize that. That's what's up. Um, but yeah, I guess, those are our hard topics from, probably the whole show until we get to the final review. But you want to talk about some real shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Hit us with it.
Yeah. Well, for me, a lot of the things that I do have to do with touch. I'm a nail technician and a massage therapist, and in through even just becoming a
Wait, hold on real
therapist.
quick. Back to
Yeah.
the nail thing. She should do my nails in the
You're my
Navy.
first nail client. You're my first
Yes.
returning nail client.
That's funny. Okay. So what'd you do? Like a little touch it, like not touch up, like trim
I
and stuff.
kept him looking cute for just to make sure he didn't.
She fixed my cuticles and everything, cuts the little things off. Yeah, I was looking nice out there.
Yeah, you were my first recurring nail client. I can't remember what you used to tip me with. Was it food?
It was probably food or soda or something from the store.
Yeah, Navy deals,
Yes.
the Filipino mafia. But anyway, let's not get sidetracked. If you know, you know.
Right.
Um,
Right.
for me, intimacy in touch, I think that especially with Matt, he's one of the most comfortable males. Even just talking about the fact that you were one of my returning manicure clients. Like you used to always come and get your manicure to make sure that you look good and felt good for your partner. And I think that too many men are touch deprived in our society, like it's all about like that bro, like no homo, especially when we were coming up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's unfair to men and it leads to a lot of harassment of women, and not just about women, because I don't necessarily want to make it about that, but about the root issue of like the fact that men are not allowed to get in touch with the emotions as much in our society. How do
Well,
you guys feel about
I
that?
want to lightly push back on that statement. I mean, our generation, 100%, but these
Mm-hmm.
kids coming up nowadays, like they're a lot more in touch with themselves, and things are a lot more fluid. And like the things that we may have called a slur back in our day are totally acceptable in that community now.
Hmm.
And I say good for them.
I'm very grateful and hopeful for what the future holds. But at the same time, I think that it's important for our people our age in our community to start embracing more of that sort of an expression of being
Hmm.
able to accept each other for who we are.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, were we supposed to actually argue with you? Like, were we supposed to
No,
be
not at
like,
all.
oh no, I'm not on that stuff. Like,
No, not at all. I was hoping that the conversation would lead to the need now, because we came up so repressed, for so many of us to jump into therapy and do things for ourselves and feel worthy of having a manicure and going and having a massage and signing up for therapy and even journaling on a regular basis for our own well-being.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's more with what I'm thinking of the word, the times and what's accepted or whatever. Because before, like when we were younger and things, going to therapy mean you was crazy and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But now going therapy is more, I don't want to say mainstream, but it's just more accepted. Like if you're going to
yeah,
therapy, people know that you're just dealing with some kind of issue, some kind of situation, and that you need additional help with. So I think the more time goes by and more people grow and learn that therapy, yes, is acceptable. Like I know now in the military now, they encourage people to go to therapy. Back when me and you were in and things, that wasn't, you couldn't be like, I need to go to a therapist in the Navy. They'll laugh at
Hmm.
you and say some derogatory things to you. But
hmm
like
Yeah.
in the day we live in, it's getting more acceptable to do stuff like that. Like you said, if you was getting your nails done, they'll think you look more feminine or something like that. Less than as, but it's two things. It's a growing and being more acceptance of yourself to where if somebody does say these things, you'll still, that's you. And also with times changing of, you know, get a manicure, get a pedicure. I know now, like, well, Chad, you could probably touch on this more about the barbershop now. They getting you skin routines and massages, and like they're doing, it's not just a haircut anymore. They're doing skin stuff I'm seeing on social media.
Yeah.
So I think we are evolving to where what's sort of self-care and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, sadly, my barber shop doesn't offer those services. It's just mostly just here's a haircut or like a beard trim. But also like I feel like if you're going to a place that's doing all that skincare stuff, you need to be prepared to like drop some money, you know?
Yeah.
Which you say no?
No, I said ching.
Oh, okay. Because you know, like, you know, mine, it's just a regular thing, but you know, those are going up too. Like, I was really paying attention what I paid last time. I paid like $40. I'm like, you know,
At the
back
barber
at,
shop?
yeah, and all I mean, I'm not complaining when I say all it was, but all he did was just like cut my hair and like trim my beard. But I'm like, back in my day, when I first met you, when you was fresh out of barber school, this cost me like $15. Like
Yeah.
But
about
you know,
15
you
years
don't want to
ago.
have to adjust to inflation.
No one wants to adjust to inflation. No one wants to.
No, it's the toughest shit. But anyway,
But no.
you don't go to the barber shop, Matt?
No, actually, Yasu cuts my hair.
Just with the shit, bro. I love her.
Yeah.
You need to incorporate waxing into the equation, man.
Have you ever got your nose waxed?
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt.
Have you ever got the inside of your nose waxed?
Oh. Isn't that
no,
like,
but I want to though.
so
It
I was
hurts,
gonna
but it's
ask
just
like
one quick jank.
I was gonna ask like, but don't we need that hair in our nose? Isn't it like stopping
To a certain
bacteria and stuff?
extent, you do. Yes, you do. It collects like loose debris before it goes into the mucus. So yeah, you're right. But you know, it's not necessarily very seemly. So
Because I'm like, sometimes I'd be looking in the mirror and it'd be like one little guy hanging out there, and I'm just like,
you just gotta,
man, I swear, just get it all out there.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. So you want to really go down the rabbit hole for real, right? So
So
let's do
yeah.
it. So let's do it. Ask your questions. Don't hold back.
When did you guys lose your virginity? Do you remember when that might have been? And whom that might have been with?
And whom? Wow. You know, I would say let's not say whom, mostly because like, you know, they were your first for a reason and you aren't with them anymore for a reason. So let's
That
leave
was a long time ago.
let's leave the
I
past where it
mean,
is.
would your ex care if you mentioned their name right now?
I care if well, we don't.
The
I'm just
podcast
wondering.
rules.
I'm just
Yeah.
The podcast rules would care.
Yeah. But like
Oh, factual.
if we were offline, I still would not want to talk about this woman.
Hey,
Oh, I could talk about mine.
that's
I
fair.
have no I have no beef with her.
Okay.
Like nobody's coming for you over this story. Like it's gonna be fine. Just
Man,
omitting names.
Right. It's not really a story. It's a timeless classic of
Oh my.
of a young boy and a young woman. They meet in 2002.
Oh my.
I was a freshman in college, and it was in her. She didn't stay in the dorm rooms. They had a house with the girls. Like it was a whole bunch of girls in a house,
Like a sorority house.
Like
kind of like a sorority house, but not a sorority house. Yeah, but it was like, I guess
like they were just roommates with each other.
Yeah,
so they could save money, kind of a thing.
Yeah, but it was actually through the university though. So I guess some people stayed on campus, and then other ones stayed in the houses, like a regular house outside with a whole bunch of people. And
and you guys
and
eventually were together.
and we did the damn thing.
You bumped
um,
uglies, as they say.
yeah,
Um,
yes.
did you date for like a little while before that happened, or was it like a one night stand?
No, we dated. And we dated for about a year and a half ish while I was in college. And I always remember the day that I lost my virginity. You know, the first thing I did afterwards, I
Mm.
went and told my mama.
Mm.
I love
I went
that.
and
That's so
I,
cute.
I went on there. I was like, guess what?
I'm a grown man now.
I'm grown in these streets. But
Did
no,
she
she
did she bake you something to congratulate her baby on fucking?
uh honestly, I don't remember her reaction. Maybe she said, "Boy, get out my room." I don't remember what she
Yeah.
said.
Oh my god.
He came up in there at like midnight and shit. Like she
Yeah.
sleep in a deep sleep.
Right. I waking her up talking about nonsense.
She's like, oh, get the hell on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, okay. So that's actually honestly like you're so smooth with it, but you've always been such a respectful man that like I'm not surprised that you're a mama's boy by any
Oh yeah.
means whatsoever.
hmm Yeah, like when I get sick, even now, like when I get sick and I call my mother and I'm like, Mama, I don't feel good. My stomach hurt. Even though she in the States and can't do nothing, yeah, I'm a mama's boy through and through.
That's nice though. How about you, sir? When did you lose your virginity on meeting names?
Omitting names. So I was a bit of a late bloomer and stuff, you know. It was after high school, and I didn't really have like a traditional like college track. But like I started to like dabble around in like the online stuff, like Plenty of Fish and what was it back
Oh,
in the day, OK Cupid and those things. And met someone, and it was all right, and we went out a couple times, and we it was like around Valentine's. I don't remember if it was on Valentine's or like a couple days afterwards. But we're at our place, we're on the couch and we're making out, and we transitioned to the bedroom. And I genuinely didn't know what the hell I was doing. And afterwards she was like, "Was that your first time?" I was like, "No." And she's like, "Yes,
Oh,
it was."
girl, I've been doing this.
what?
I know how to do all the sex, okay?
All the things.
Yes.
And so I was like, "No, that wasn't my first time." And she's like, "Yes, it was." And I was like, "Yeah, it was." So
I
yeah.
know.
I
I
was
know
just
how to
gonna
do
ask,
all the
like, did you
sex.
feel the need to perform like it wasn't your first time though?
I mean, there is a bit of embarrassment there, where it's like, she was experienced, and so, and I
Mm,
had no experience in this arena, and so like I just felt like I needed to like fake it till I make it.
yeah.
Was she
I mean,
was
it
she
do be like that.
acceptance of it? I mean, was not acceptance. Was she what's the word I'm looking for? Like not coddle, but was she like, okay, this was your first time. Um we'll
Tips
give it
and
another
tricks.
go, or was it like your first time a turn off? That's what I meant.
Mm,
I mean, we kept talking after that, but we didn't have sex
mm,
again that night.
Oh, yeah, because she was a acceptance of I was just learning, and
mm.
uh I will get better as time. So she was very acceptance, and I did feel, I don't know, I felt like a bitch. Well, not a bitch like that, but I felt like a punk, where it was
You
like,
you you
because
could
she,
have you could have definitely used a different word and still
right,
said
right,
kept that
yeah,
same idea.
yeah. I felt like a,
I feel like men
I
have
felt
that
lesser,
expectation. Like you're
right? Because
supposed
it
to
was
get in there and just knock it out the park your first try, but like you've never been at this park, you don't know where you're at. You're just as
right.
close as everybody else, so you really have this expectation internally when you feel like if you don't do a good job right away, then you aren't quite measuring up.
But also, it's like
Yes.
you don't really like. I feel like the three of us, we've had our adventures, since our first times, but and you don't really realize how many mechanics there are to it, like how many things you
It's a
have
lot.
to keep account for. And like if you're just going into it and you're like literally a deer in the headlights, like what? There are so many buttons here. What am I supposed to do? And then of course
And
you
just
gotta,
and and just because it worked on this Cadillac, it might not work on this Escalade over here.
Well, no,
So,
you're not even thinking that on your first time is what I'm saying. Like the
oh
first
yeah,
Yeah,
time, there's
no.
just like so many things that porn doesn't really tell you about, or like movies don't really tell you about, you know?
right. It's kind
I
of like
used to just watch soft porn, and the first time I watched like hardcore porn, I was like, oh my God, that's what the boys like really are expecting. Like, this is insanity.
mm-hmm. Then as I grew
No.
older, I realized that's just performative entertainment.
Yes, nothing is real that you see on screen. This podcast,
Right.
if you're watching it on YouTube, this isn't real. Well, our stories are real, but they're edited
Mhm.
because
Right.
I edited them.
It's time
Yes.
travel.
What about you, Lady Male Miss?
I've had a really nice experience because I lost my virginity to someone who was also a virgin, and we had been dating for 2 years, and it was mutually agreed upon. And it was almost like the thing that I think I felt a lot during that time was pressure, because we were long-term dating, and our families had approved of us, and it's almost like a far gone conclusion that I would marry him. And I felt uncomfortable with the possibility of like really signing up to be with someone for the rest of my life without even really know or even seeing them naked once. It was really terrifying, but there's really that expectation that you're supposed to be a virgin when you get to your bed, especially as a Dominican woman, that you're supposed to be this specific thing and really sign up for that for the rest of your life. And that was really terrifying. Even though I did have a nice experience, I still felt like when I did lose my virginity, I wasn't supposed to be doing it. And then after it happened, I got home and my Dominican mom was like, "Your hips are different. You're no longer a virgin." And I was like, "Oh my
Hips are
fucking
different.
God,
What?
bro, get the fuck out of here." She didn't even let me get in the house. And I was just like, bro, can I like lie to you or like just give me 25 minutes to like take it in? But no, she was like, "You lost your virginity." And I was like, well, I mean,
Well, you got me. You
yeah,
got me.
yeah, got me. And then she was like, "To that boy you've been dating." I'm like, I mean, he's been here. You've been, like,
Right. It's funny how
we were.
parents be forgetting shit like, you who was this man you was with? The motherfucker that was at Thanksgiving. And
The
Yeah.
motherfucker that was riding around with us to New Jersey.
right.
Yeah, so I mean, and then for me, I felt like that experience is one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this topic is because there's so many different expectations that we still have, not just for ourselves, for like for our kids, and like our partners. And I still hear people talking about your body count and things like that. And I think it's unfair um to really judge someone by their previous experiences and what they have gone through, because so much of it is not necessarily what you set out to do, but just what the circumstances led you to being able to do, kind of a thing. Like for me, I've been a lesbian most of my life, but I dated men for 30 years exclusively. And
Mhm.
now I've been married to a woman and I've never been happier. We just had our anniversary on the 12th of 5 years. Um,
Happy
Congratulations.
anniversary.
Yeah.
thank you, thank you.
So what you're
Um,
trying to say is Matt and I need to marry men. Should Matt and I get
no.
married? Matt, will you marry me? I need you to leave your
Oh,
wife.
you guys
And
can't be
also,
a couple?
I was
I
like,
love that too.
I know your track record. I don't know if that gonna work.
wow. Wow.
Wow. He
Wow.
said he knows you too well to be like, you need more
but
therapy.
it's but
Is
it,
what he
but it's
said.
okay. You in therapy, you working things out. All right, we might be able to make something work.
But I
And
need
I
you
know
to
I know you can
Y'all
cook
make a
though,
cute
so
couple.
that's a plus. That's a plus. I
thank
know
you,
you can
thank you.
cook.
But to be very clear, I'm not shaving your head. I'm not fucking cutting up a wig. I'm not doing most of that shit Yasu doing, all right?
See, now
That's how
we
I
already on
feel.
the ropes now. We haven't even started. We already on the ropes.
I already
Okay, that's
know that's
fine.
how I feel.
We ain't doing no Disney World stuff. We ain't doing no Star Wars stuff.
You
How about
sound
photo shoots? Like
it's
Christmas photo shoots? Are we getting Christmas cards?
I mean, I always say no Christmas cards, but you're sounding like Samantha now, so go fuck yourself.
See, so yes, we can go to wrestling events and sporting events.
I don't like that shit though.
See, marriage, we got to compromise, man.
How you gonna say you're not gonna do my interest, but I gotta do your interest? See,
hey, you say you started it by saying you wasn't gonna cut my hair, cut my wig. You started with all this negativity at the beginning.
I didn't counter with me wanting you to do shit.
Wait, you wouldn't want me to cut your beard or clean your ears? I got you, homie. Don't even worry about that.
I got a guy for that already.
Oh, see,
You guys are
you
so
want
funny.
you want a foot massage?
Touch is important.
That's a good question. Do I?
Do you want a
See,
foot massage?
See, I got you. I give a mad foot for massage. It don't even be tickling or nothing.
Interesting.
I
mean,
remember when Jasu was pregnant. That man was just like taking care of her. So just all of just.
no,
He went through all the classes,
I mean,
read all the
I'm
books.
intrigued now. Like, we don't even have to fuck. You trying to rub some feet?
Hey, man. See, I'm a caring spouse. When I'm in a relationship, I give the love and the affection. Some people just give the affection. I give the love and the affection.
Okay.
I like this. I like this.
But I'm
I
sorry,
like this.
we got on a tangent there. So you've been happily married for 5 years, and you were dating men, and you realize men ain't shit. And once you came to your senses, you've never been happier. And I fucking love that.
And that's not what I mean at all. I think for me, the biggest thing is that I'm the eldest of a big group of people, and I have 3 brothers. And for me, in the machismo culture, like it's hard for them to even reach out and be like, "Hey, sister, I love you. I'm proud of you," or anything in any kind of a way, because like you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to have any sort of emotion, you're supposed to feel happy or sad, or you're just supposed to be like this rock that provides money. And I think that men are so much more than that. In the time that I was dating men, I tended to date a lot of bisexual males who were closeted. Um, and I saw the plight of like, feeling trapped within like your expectations of what you're supposed to be as a man.
Yeah, I believe it's all about where, like city wise and things like that. Also, time frame of when you grew up, what was quote unquote acceptable, what was not acceptable. But like Chad said, yeah, I think with this newer generation, that stuff will be less of a hindrance on stuff. It wouldn't be like you won't look down upon if somebody if like for example, like if I cried or whatever, my wife wouldn't look at me differently because I cried, and everything else like that. I think with the times and people changing, learning more, it'll be more acceptable for men to express all their feelings, emotions. Because I know sometimes it's hard. Like you're supposed to be quote unquote the man of the house. You're supposed to be strong, the rock for the family and everything. But you can still do both. You can be the rock and everything, and then as life is hard, life is stressful. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you just need a cry to let it out
You need
until you can keep
support
it
too,
moving.
and you need intimacy too. And that's why I really like the conversation that you guys were having, because being in relationship and being intimate with somebody isn't necessarily having sex right away. Like it can be just a foot rub and a conversation, and talking about your day and just asking somebody how they're doing.
So you want to talk about mental health as well?
Yes, and I think I was sort of transitioning to that. I wanted to specifically want to come on the podcast with you guys because you both are male, and I did know that you advocate for mental health. And I think it's an important topic because I have young brothers, like I was saying, and in my culture, the machismo culture that happens is very much what we were talking about. It's like don't show your emotions, don't cry in front of people, and certainly like not be open with your sexuality, which leads to a lot of repression for everyone. And so for me, I think that mental health, my struggle have been with getting to know myself and being more open with who I am.
Hmm.
What are your struggles of your mental health?
That's an interesting question.
Well, do you
Um,
think that for me, my mental health started with bereavement therapy when my mother passed away. Um,
okay.
and then that transitioned into mindfulness training for PTSD after I got out of the Navy. And then after that, it's just been different topical things just to maintain myself. But after about 10 so years of consistent therapy, I'm at a point where I'm actively in therapy so that I can be myself.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, well, for me, I have been trying to combat depression. Just serious strong waves of depression will kind of take over sometimes. And that's kind of what we've been working on getting through.
I know this, and like Chad has told me this before. I don't want to say this. Like when my grandmother and my father died within like days of each other, and
Mm-hmm.
um, I haven't fully processed this, and I know I should, but I
Mm-hmm.
haven't, and eventually I will. But it's just like I kind of pushed it down, and like I got to move forward and stuff like that. But I know I need to address it. But I'm not denying that it's there. I know I need to, but I just haven't got around to doing it.
Yeah, it's it can be tough, and it can be tough. I get you, man.
Right, because you don't want to do nothing. You don't want to think about it. You kind of just want to shut down, and you just don't want to be bothered, or the opposite to where like I want to. I need a distraction. I need the lights and the music and sounds and everything. So I don't go into
Dark
my
place.
sorrow, depression world where I'm thinking about all this stuff to I needed to just distract myself with something else.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you sometimes like use work as a substitute for avoidance?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I use work. I use everything like if I'm doing
To
something,
cope.
then I'm not focusing on that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, my love, I was doing a good transition and trying to
Ooh.
put you back on track.
Right.
Ooh, that's hope.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm, right. And when I
Yeah.
focus on work, I put too much time and energy, then I be an outstanding worker. Then they want me to go on these work trips.
Mm.
Really?
And so last week,
Yeah.
yeah, when this come out, last week, I had a work trip. I went up to Yokosuka for
Ooh, I
work,
love the system.
and we've been to Yokosuka plenty of times, but the only difference is we was there through the Navy. So
Uh,
ship pulls in, and we just go about our business. So this time I had to go up there by myself. And all right, so first I'm on the plane, and from Nagasaki to Haneda Airport, and I'm the only American on the plane. So the flight attendants are doing their safety video things, and all the stuff is in Japanese, and I'm just sitting there. I've been on enough planes. I know how this thing goes. So the lady
mhm.
gets done and sees me, and then she pulls out the little card with the pictures on there, and it's in Japanese, and she's like, she's translated it to me in English, and I was like this, wakarimashita. And then she says, oh, you speak good Japanese, and then starts explaining everything else in Japanese, right? And I was like, oh, sorry, I don't speak Japanese. Just that little stuff I was doing sounded like I spoke it.
No,
And
you
then I was
shouldn't.
like,
You
I'm
shouldn't have
sorry.
been doing all that. You, see,
Right.
we, just like earlier when he's talking about like trying to overcompensate. Don't
Right.
do it. Don't do it.
Right. And so I was like, sorry, I don't speak Japanese. So, and I get off the plane, and everybody told me, he was like, it's easy. You just got to get on KQ line, buy the ticket there, take there, transfer here, and you good to go. And I'm like, okay.
Nope.
So I get off the airport, the terminal. I go to KQ line, and I'm trying to type in my destination, Yokosuka, and it doesn't pop up. I'm like, so I press the help button, and the little, I don't know if you guys ever seen it, where you buy your ticket from, if you press help, the guy will come out the machine. Like he'll stick his head out this thing.
Hey, it's a real person?
Yeah, it's a real person. I'll show you a clip of this after the show so you can see it. Like he opens like a little door and sticks his head out.
Okay.
And so then he was like, oh no, wrong KQ line. You need to walk down there and downstairs. So I was like, okay. So I go down there, downstairs, type in Yokosuka, got my ticket. I'm like, cool. Now, as I'm watching everybody go, now realize I am not from Chicago. I am not from New York. I don't be taking trains like that. So as I'm walking through, everybody's like scanning their little thingy, like at the airport, to get through. So I have my ticket, and I'm like this, and nothing's happening.
Hey, for audio listeners.
Oh, I'm just tapping it on the little circle thing. Like I said, people put their phone on. I'm tapping it like this, and it's not opening. And I'm like, and I see a guy, and I give him this look. He was like, no, put it in. And I was like, oh, so I put it in, and it like zips in towards the end. I was like,
because you have paper and they all have electronic. Okay.
Right. So then I get my ticket. I'm going down there. There's a train stopped with people already on there and people standing in line. So I get in line with these people, and I'm looking at the signs, and it's all this stuff going on, Japanese. And I'm like, I have no idea what train to get on. So then I hear the announcement, this train makes every stop. So I'm like, should I get on this train or stay here? Get on this. So I'm like, fuck it. I get on this train. So I was like this. I'm trying to read the signs where we're stopping at. And then I have an app or whatever too. But the app says transfer, no transfer. It's like, what does that mean? Right. So I was like, the train stops, and I was like, do I get off or do I stay on? I was like, all right, let me get off.
No,
good thing I got off.
What are you doing?
Good thing
I'm
I
so
got off because
invested.
that train went backwards. So good thing I got off.
Oh my god.
What?
So then
Okay,
I get off, and I'm like, I get off, and I'm like, all right, what train do I need to take? So then a Japanese guy comes up to me. He was like, hey, I'm trying to get to Yokohama. Do you know which train I need to take? And
Why would
like,
you?
I don't even know what train to take.
Why would you know?
Well, that because apparently, like, even Japanese people, like, who don't do this like every day or whatever, they get lost using the train train system.
And I'm saying, why would he ask the black man in Japan?
Hey man, maybe I looked like I knew what I was doing. So I was like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I don't even know what I'm doing. So then I was walking, and I seen an American guy, and I was like, hey, I'm trying to get to Yokosuka, Kiyomiya. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm going there. Just follow me. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, also, wait, hold on. That guy over there wants to know how to get to Yokohama. Can you show him? So he showed him, right? So he was like, the guy told me, he's like, the train's gonna be here in like 9 minutes. And I was like, okay. So he's standing like not close to me, but like right here.
This is the random American or the Japanese man?
Yeah, the random American guy, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like this, playing on my phone and everything. And I look up and I see the train. I'm like, okay, where's that guy at? That guy was already on the fucking train. Yeah. He didn't tell me or nothing.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh shit. I jumped on there, and then I saw the signs. It was like Yokosuka. So then I just waited, and I thought like the dude was gonna say something to me, like, see you later or whatever. No, that dude just rode on out.
He was like, you know what? I've done my job. Peace.
Yeah. So then I remember the guys told me, he's like, once you get out there, there's a taxi stand. Take this taxi to base. So then I get there, I wait in line, taxi guy comes, and I'm like, base? He says, no base. And I'm like, Nande. Nande means why. And I was like, Nande. And then he just closed the door. And I was like this. So then I had to go to Google Maps to see how far away base is. So as I'm walking there, I'm walking like for 10 minutes. Next thing you know, I see an American couple. I'm like, hey, is this the right way to base? And then they were like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. I keep walking. I see base. I'm like, okay, good. So I'm
So
still carrying my
do you
luggage.
remember what Google Maps said how far the walk was?
Well, the thing is, when I put in the destination, it didn't give me the destination of the gate, of base gate. It gave me it gave me an address somewhere on base. So I couldn't tell how far it was. So then once I get through the gate, and I'm like, okay, I'm staying at the hotel, the Navy Lodge, and they tell me there's a bus that takes you there. So I'm getting off, I'm walking. Don't see anybody. Then I see security. So I'm like, hey, they say there's a bus. Where's the bus stop at? They was like, walk down further. There's a bus stop. I'm like, okay, get to the bus stop now. And I'm reading it. So basically, it stops at select locations all over the whole base. Now, Yokosuka is a big base. So, and of course, the Navy Lodge is at the far end of the base. So basically, I had to get on like 4 stops to finally get to the Navy Lodge. And I made it. And then I was like, I do not want to do this again.
So my thing was like when you messaged me and you're like, oh hey man, I don't want to do this again. My initial thought was, do they not have Uber or Lyft in Japan?
They have Uber in certain places, probably like if you had like in the Tokyos, like the big city areas. Yes.
Okay.
Don't they still have those like pay by the yen and by the second, like with the meter running?
Yes.
Taxis, the yellow ones.
Yes, but
How should that run you to get all the way to Yokosuka from Sasebo, like $200 freaking dollars?
But now it's expensive now. And then also I learned like there's taxis that can't get on base
that
for
makes sense.
Yokosuka.
That makes sense.
And then some that are only on base. So I don't know why this dude was like, no, man, just drop me off in front. But whatever. I digress. But
it's
that was my adventure.
It's because you were black.
Probably. Nah, American. He was like, no more of these guys jeans out here.
Why not both?
Exactly. But yeah, so then I was worried about when I come back because it was going to be in the morning with, you know, people going to work and everything. It's going to be hectic. But luckily I got a guy who I was seeing there. He drove me to the airport. So I was like, okay, good. I didn't want to have to deal with that.
That's good.
So
I was going to ask how you got home.
Yeah.
If that was another odyssey.
So how far was base to the airport?
Like 15 minutes.
By car. Okay.
No, by walking 15 minutes. It was probably like 5 minutes by driving.
Then why'd you take a train?
Oh, wait, from the airport to from the airport to base. Yeah, it was about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. All right. And then you were talking about hyping this up for a few episodes about you're a coach now. You're big time.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm coaching football, 2 different great age groups, 7 to 9, and then 10 to 13 age groups. So we've been practicing, and we had our first game on Saturday. The first game was the 7 to 9 kids, and we did good. They did great. We won 14-0.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Then we did the 10 to 13 one. And we got dog walked. We got embarrassed.
I was about to say the end of pause.
we got destroyed. Like it was bad. Like it got to the point to where like
okay, never mind.
What was the score?
I stopped counting after they scored 3 touchdowns. Because they scored on one big run play, then they had 2 pick sixes, and then they probably beat us by 4 touchdowns. We didn't do anything. But yeah, we it was bad. Like it's one thing if we lose, but like the kids were taking it real hard. Like when like the quarterback was throwing those pick sixes, he was getting sad and like crying. And then another kid like had an open catch, he dropped it. He was sad and was crying. And all the kids just looked dejected. But the only plus side is that we had a couple players didn't show up. So the kids that we did have, they were playing offense and defense with we had no substitutions. So they were tired and stuff like that. And plus a lot of the kids that's not the position they were playing. So it was good that they got to see live action, see how the game is go. So this week when we practice, they have a better understanding. But yeah, we got rocked. We got rocked.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It was not a good day. But it is what it is. I mean, we can't do worse than this, so we can only go up.
Don't say that either.
Nah. If you would have saw that game, we cannot do worse than that.
Right.
No, we can only go up from here. So I look forward to it, and plus we know what the practice is. So I look forward. So hopefully next time we can say that next week we redeemed ourselves with a win.
I really want that for you guys.
You got games again next week? Same amount?
Every Saturday we have games. What's today? Okay, yeah, every Saturday, yes. Yeah. But when I'm not working or coaching football, I like to control my mental health by playing the new Spider-Man 2 video games.
That segue just butter.
See, this ain't my first rodeo.
I don't know how much of the show you've listened to, but Matt can do some transitions, all right.
For good or worse, I won't try. Yeah, I missed out. I know the game came out on the 20th, but I missed out because the stupid next. All right, yeah, let me address this.
Okay.
When you pre-order something, the NEX. When you pre-order something, that means, hey, when this game releases on that day, you are reserving yourself a copy. Do you guys agree with that statement?
That sounds accurate to me.
You are, when they have stock, you will
no, it's not when they have stock. When you say October 20th is the day that this game is released, you have a copy. So when October 20th came and I come in there with my ticket and my receipt to be like, let me pick up my game, you should not be saying we haven't received the stock of this. Then you shouldn't have said that this game comes out on the 20th. It should have been whenever, like you said, whenever we have this game in, we will reserve you a copy.
I mean, if they have like a same day guarantee, like on Amazon, they have like a delivery guarantee. And so it's like if your shit's not delivered on that day, it's their bad. So did they have a delivery guarantee
now? Because they was messing that up last year.
I don't know. I need to read that fine print, but I was mad about that. And then
it's the NX up for your money if they didn't have your game.
Right. But eventually, what was it? What day did it was like 3 days later?
Yeah, you came back Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, so Wednesday. So instead of the 20th, they got it on the 25th.
What?
Yeah, because I came back Wednesday. Yeah, because when I was flying back, that's when I got the call.
That's unacceptable.
I would say so. Yeah, I would look into this fine print and see if you get some money back for that. You might have. I don't know. I think you could get some money back for that.
Like, did they at least apologize when you came to pick it up?
Well, no, I didn't pick it up. The wife picked it up with us. I was still in Yokosuka because they called me. They said they was like, it's ready, and I told the wife, and then she picked it up.
Did they apologize to her? Like, no, man. Like, somebody needs to be apologizing.
Right, probably, but I know how these people are. So if there was anybody like me who pre-ordered a game, plenty of people complained about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
but now that I finally got my hands on it,
you weren't the only one that pre-ordered it on base. So you think that happened to everyone on base?
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't have it, they don't have it.
Yep. So everybody who wanted Spider-Man had to wait 4 days to get it, to actually play it.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I do know here on day one, several stores in the area just did not have it in stock. Not a situation of we sold out, a situation of we didn't get it.
That sounds like a Sony distribution issue. Is there any theories about that?
I mean, there's no one. I mean, the only thing I could think of would just be to push people to like download it.
Right.
Or drive the price up.
I mean,
Right.
that's pretty set in stone. It's already a lot. They already upped the price. Games are $70 now.
Because also when you pre-order it, you get it. It's you get those bonus content or whatever for. I didn't get the regular $60 one. I got the.
I mean, they're all $70 now.
Oh, but don't you like if you pre-order, you get like those 3 additional skins or something like that?
So I can't reach it. So there was a code inside the box of mine.
Yeah.
But I don't. Did you get anything else besides what was in the box?
I got those. No, because just those the codes, and you get an extra skill points and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
so there was. Oh,
I mean, I feel like if you want to, I mean, you couldn't do it because you're not in the country. But I feel like if you went to GameStop, they probably would have gave you like some stickers or something.
right. Some little trinkets that said, "Hey, good job on doing this."
Yeah.
But the game. I'm loving the game right now.
Was it worth the wait?
Yes. I just
That's a
wish I had
big.
more
That's
time
a
to.
big compliment.
Yeah, I just wish I had more time to play it, but I'm enjoying everything about it. All the new changes from the first one. I don't know where I'm at as far as percentage wise in the game. Chad, story
I
line
mean,
mode.
okay.
Oh no, I'm at the part where he has Venom now. He has a Venom suit now.
Did he just get it?
No, he got it, and then I did the Mary Jane. Oh no, that was the same one, same mission when I played as Mary Jane. Yeah. So basically, that's where I'm at around that, where he got the Venom suit.
I'd say story wise, probably maybe 40%.
Does this game go
Okay,
all
this
the
is
way
still
into the like multiverse?
Light spoilers. One of the side missions kind of touches on that.
Did you guys ever watch the old school like animated Spider-Man by V?
By what?
But I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart so hard
So
right
are
now.
you talking about the cartoon that came on in the 90s when we were kids, or the
Yes, like
one that has okay.
the
Okay.
blonde Spider-Man with like the red jacket, the
Yeah.
animated series.
Yeah, that was our stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Did you guys watch that all the way through?
I feel like I've seen all the episodes, but I feel like if I did a rewatch, I'd be like, oh, I've never seen this
It
episode
would
before.
blow your fucking
Right,
mind,
because I
bro.
mean
It
during
got
that
in the
time
weed.
we just watched everything, whatever was on like TV at that time,
Yeah.
whatever episode. So, like you said, there might have been some episodes that we didn't catch or something like that,
Yeah.
but pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. But no, man, I love the game too. Like I beat it, and I 100% beat it within the within the week.
Did you sleep?
Well, that's the thing. No, Insider Baseball, we didn't have a show last week because Matt was going to be out of town. So like I had like a free night to like really put some hours into it. Like I'm not saying I beat it last Saturday night, but I'm just saying like I had extra time. Like I really enjoyed the game. Like the story's great. Like I like the universe that they're building because this is like the third game in this specific franchise. The side quests were fun, but I mean, I will say it felt a little lacking because I don't think that I should have been able to 100% the game within the amount of time that I did compared to the first Spider-Man game where there was so much stuff to do. It feels like they cut a lot of the fat.
Did you do the I don't want to do it, but how was the Mysterio challenges things? I see him around, but I feel like I don't want to be not tricked is the right word. I don't want to go to a fantasy world and do some stuff.
Then maybe you should stop playing the game right now.
I was about to say that's like the whole point of the whole video game.
You know what I mean. You know what I like.
I know what Matt means, and like like the fantasy world, like you're gonna have to do some stuff in like not real worlds in that game.
Yeah,
and
like
that's one of my no. What he's talking about is a side quest. What I'm saying is what they're making him do in that side quest that he's avoiding, they're gonna make you do in the main story.
Oh man.
And that's what I was referring
like
to when we were
training.
texting about how like it feels like they're padding the game out, because like you didn't have to do this. You could have just had the cutscene where they just did what they needed to do, but they did the cutscene and then they transitioned to a fantasy world to be like, now you get to play this. And it's like, I didn't need to play this. You could have just did it.
I don't want to play this. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm still loving the game. Like probably once this podcast done, I'll probably hop back on it.
You definitely should.
Sounds
Yeah,
like you're
I've been
excited about it
loving it.
already.
I look forward to like whenever they come out with like some downloadable content for it. Like I didn't buy it for the first Spider-Man game, but like whenever they say, "Hey, we got some more stuff for you," because like the way most of the side missions ended, they're just teasing more stuff is coming. So there's definitely gonna be
Like
some DLC.
downloadable upgrades that augment the game experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, just more story missions, because it's like some of the missions end where you don't capture the bad guy. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming for you, Spider-Man, and then he escapes. And it's like y'all not saving this for Spider-Man 3. Y'all gonna there's some downloadable content coming. Y'all got some more missions y'all held back.
Christmas probably, like the night before Christmas, they're gonna be like, hey, do you guys remember when they did that for PlayStation like a couple of years back? I think it was
For
for Halo. They had an expansion.
yeah. I do remember that. Yes.
It was a hot fucking disaster.
Are you a gamer? Do you play games?
Actually, no, I'm gaming adjacent. My brother is super gamer, and I grew up being like the big sister that watched him play games. But no, the last console I personally played was 64.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mortal Kombat.
Matt, how come you guys weren't knocking out the what would it have been back in your day? The PS3 back in your day.
We were, but the only thing is we was doing it in the berthing, or that's our
What?
bedroom on
That
the
was a
ship.
boys thing. I wasn't allowed in the space where they had the video game at for long term, for
Yeah.
like long periods of time. It wasn't physically kosher for me to go in that space.
I see.
Yeah. But did you know that? Okay, we're about to get sidetracked. So when we were in the Navy, we had lounges, TV, you can just chill and stuff like that. And it was boys and girls, right? Because they didn't want us to mingle for obvious reasons.
We mingle, but you
right.
know.
But now on the ship, it is co-ed for the lounges, for them to be together.
That makes
Oh,
sense
that's
though.
interesting. That's a lot more reasonable. I mean, because I was known to sneak and have a nap.
A nap?
A nap.
That's what we call it, a nap.
No, it was legitimately a nap. Like dead ass. I would be so tired and I would need like just a cuddle so hard. I would be like, hey, can I like sneak and cuddle with you? And I would literally be asleep.
Let's leave that sentence right where it is. No follow-up questions. Matt, what is Hot Pocket?
Oh, no. Okay. So I seen this online and I'll send this to you guys right now. Oh, our group chat is on Instagram. Hold on. So there was a lady on Twitter and she says that people think she's crazy because she opened up her Hot Pocket, cut it open to add more seasoning to it. Have you? So first of all, I want you guys to. It's hard to tell. I just sent it to our group chat. She put like hot sauce on it or something. And first, I want to say first thing is this is diabolical and a genius at the same time. I've never once thought about opening up my Hot Pocket to season it.
So I've not done it to a Hot Pocket, but I've done it to like burritos and stuff.
Yeah, burritos, but like a Hot Pocket? I mean, that's kind of smart though.
Because it's kind of
it's already closed.
Together.
It's already closed.
It's not like you can unroll it. That makes sense.
Right.
Well, for me, I feel like if I were to go do that, I would just kind of cut it from the top and add the seasoning that way.
Right. They cut it open like it was a surgery. They like a flap. They cut open like that and did it. So I was just like, I'm disgusted and excited, applauding this at the same time.
Yeah.
So next time you're out there in the Hot Pocket, cut that thing open and season it.
I looking at the inside of it, it just looks so sad because I'm like, where's the rest of it?
Right.
I feel like stuff used to be a lot more stuff when back in the day when we used to order Hot Pockets or like buy a whole box of Hot Pockets.
Right. And plus, Chad, we are not meant to see the inside of that.
I agree. I agree.
That's a Beehive baseball thing. We were not meant to see that. Yes.
I think that's why I felt uncomfortable when I looked at the picture. I'm like, I don't know, something about it, like the cognitive dissonance. I was like, no, why?
Right. It's like I could have went my whole life without seeing the inside of a Hot Pocket and would have been happy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting close to Halloween time, right? And my daughter's school is having a Halloween party, and so I signed us up to get tablecloths and I think plates. So on Tuesday, I'm gonna look at the calendar right quick so I can give you an exact date. Tuesday, October 24th, I went to the Dollar Tree to get some Halloween supplies. And I go in there, right? And it's like one shelf of Halloween stuff and everything else is Christmas. And I'm like, it's literally a week away. So I'm like, okay. I leave and go to another Dollar Tree. Exact same situation. I'm like, what the fuck's happening here? I go to Walmart immediately after this, and they're clearing out the Halloween section for Christmas. And I'm like, what what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, what about the straggler people for Halloween? Like, no,
man, you better get that stuff from Amazon.
So like my thing was like, I didn't know until like that day, the day before, that we had to get stuff for her Halloween get together, or I would have gotten it a lot earlier. But like, if I was a parent that waits till the last minute, or I'm really busy, I would have been out of luck.
Yeah, I mean,
what is
a
it?
week.
Instacart?
But where are they getting it from, though? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Like a week is strong, but I'm like, the weekend, I can see that 28th, you better transition over real quick, but a week, yeah, you still gotta
what
get people
about somebody
time.
trying to throw like a party, like a Halloween party, who wants to decorate? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's ridiculous that they're transitioning a week out. That's crazy to me.
Yes.
But yeah.
The only thing I look forward to after Halloween though is that like you can actually go to Walmart and they have the candy like 50% or 70%, like those specific Halloween packs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I will buy me a half a shelf.
But, you know.
Oh yeah.
But also so a couple weeks
Speaking
ago,
of dressing up.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. So I don't know if we mentioned it on the show, but last week, friend of the show Jarrett was in town because his brother got married. And so me, him, and friend of the show Nelson linked up, as well as my daughter. So it was me, my daughter, and the boys. We went to the Renaissance Fair, and it was I believe it's all of our first time going, and it was really interesting.
I want to go.
I talked to my daughter.
Real quick, what made you guys decide to do it?
So Nelson and I like pass each other memes like constantly all day. And so like one of the things he sent me was an advertisement for the Renaissance Fair that was coming up, and I was like, yeah, let's do that, and let's do it when I have my daughter, because she might want to do that. And so like the only way I could get her out of the door was I was gonna be like, there's horses, we're gonna see some horses. So she's like, horses. So like the whole drive she's like, horses, horsey, horse. I'm like, yeah. And so the first thing we did was we watched the jousting. It was kind of cool. Like it was a terrible day to go to the Renaissance Fair, because it's like in a field, and it was raining and cold. And the jousting was kind of cool. Like they, it was obviously like not real. So like they weren't like knocking each other off the horses for real, for real. And then they had like a half-hearted like sword fight, and I was like, that was. I mean, at least she got to see some horses. So like, we all walked around. We saw Nelson and Jared. They did archery, and then they had like a fire show, and where they were like juggling like shit that was lit on fire. And like I did not know my daughter liked fire so much. Like she was just clapping, like, yeah. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Stop it.
Why? Well, you think she'll grow be a klepto?
Pyromaniac.
Pyro.
What's klepto?
That's when you steal.
Stealing.
Yeah.
So we ended up going to the final jousting event of the day, as well as the one that we went to in the rain. And this one was like, it was not raining, so it was like slightly less cold, and it was a much better vibe. Like people were chanting "kill him," and my daughter was getting in on it too. And like
much better vibe. People were trying to kill him. Sorry.
Yeah, and then like the even like they like the dude got knocked off the horse, and it kind of looked real. And like they put it on a real show, like they was doing sword fighting, and then they had like fake blood spewing and stuff. It was so cool. And like they fake killed somebody. It was so cool, man.
Did you get this on video?
So funny enough, like I was recording it, and then I didn't think that they was gonna go that far, so I stopped recording right before the blood stuff came out. But Jared recorded it, so I'll send that to you too.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, it was a good time, and it's like it felt like one of those parenting moments where it was like I know my daughter really enjoyed it, and so like I enjoyed it even more because she enjoyed it. Because like I never really took her to like anything like something like that. Like I've never taken her to a Comic-Con or anything like that, because I was like, she's probably not old enough to really enjoy this, But that was a huge success. I was really happy that that went well. So we're definitely.
Have you guys gone to like the circus or anything like that?
I haven't been to the circus in like a decade. Like
I went to the circus like last time I was there, last time I lived in St. Louis. So 18-19 was the last time I was there. And like you said, like I took my 2018-19. And I took my son to the circus. Like he's been to the circus like at least twice. And now, like if you ask him, has he been to the circus? He's like, no, I've never been to the circus. That because he was too young to remember it. Yeah. And then when I pull up pictures, I'm like, see, this is you at the circus. Oh, okay. So like stuff like that is like, when he gets older, they'll start when his memory kicks in, then then it's better start taking him places.
Yeah, because like recently someone asked me why hadn't I taken my daughter to Disney, and I was like, because I'm not spending all that money for her not to remember it.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last topic this week, since we're gonna be topical, is this all these memes and videos and stuff about taking your date on Cheesecake Factory.
That's
And
ridiculous.
people are saying like, oh man, I love Cheesecake Factory. Please take me to Cheesecake Factory, because like I'm not somebody that's like ungrateful or whatever. And I feel like that I feel like conspiracy theory time. I feel like Cheesecake Factory put this out there, because like the amount of like love coming towards the Cheesecake Factory now, and I know they're getting an influx of business because of this.
It's hard not to it's hard to believe anything you see on the internet, because everything is probably orchestrated for something like
on
this.
Some level. Yeah.
Right. But you already know my feelings on Cheesecake Factory. It ain't what it. Yeah. I mean, we had a whole discussion about Cheesecake Factory, and who was on there? Still Steve on there?
Okay. No, that wasn't me. That was the episode with your siblings.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're right. Yeah. So I mean, it's not all a lot cracked up to be for Cheesecake Factory, but back to this. So for the people who don't know, they said that a group of women got together and put a list together of restaurants that is not acceptable. Let me pull it. Where did I send that at? What
I
group
feel
chat I send that in?
ooh.
Something about old chain restaurants, but I don't understand that part because it's like even Beyonce rapped about going to Red Lobster, so I'm like so lost.
Right. Oh, damn. We have so many group chats. I don't know which one I
I feel
sent it
like you
to.
know. Well, you actually made a post about this. I remember that.
All right.
So
All
I
right. I'll just
do.
go to my post.
I do vaguely remember like some of the things on the list, and like one of the items was
Okay.
like
I got it
women
pulled
of.
up.
Okay.
Oh no. Well, it's 28. I'm about to go through them quickly. Okay.
Oh, you're going to read all
Hmm.
28?
What?
All
There's
right.
28 items on the list?
Well, here it goes. Here's a list of places women absolutely refuse to go on a first date.
How about you do the top 5
10.
and then okay, top 10 and then we'll post the list on the yeah.
Okay. This is from 1 to 10. Cheesecake Factory,
Wow.
Applebee's, Chili's,
Hmm.
Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies, your house, any fast
Okay.
food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Wingstop.
Hmm.
So
Your house,
and
I get.
Now,
now I was gonna
yeah, I was
say
gonna
You
that I
say
don't
was
the
take
gonna say
house
that
somebody
I
on a
get.
date to your house, but
Your
the
first date
rest
to your
are
house,
like
yes.
but I will
public
say this,
locations.
like it's there's a lot of dudes that are still trying to pull that, oh, just come to my house. Like from me talking to
That's
women
so
and stuff,
tired.
like
Mm.
because dudes out here trying to, be sinful and whatnot, They aren't virtuous like young Matthew here.
Hmm.
Right. So I haven't been single in a very long time. So I don't know how the game goes these days. But from my perspective, is it the point of a first date is to get to know the person?
I
So
thought so,
does
yeah.
now I'm asking this question legitimately, does the place really matter? Like for example, if I took a person out to Olive Garden, right? And then we're there to eat, but really aren't we there to talk to get to know each other?
Supposed to
So
be.
if we have the exact same conversation, would it be different versus Applebee's versus I don't know, some high end place?
So
Wasn't the line used to be like, can I take you out for coffee or something? Like people used
Right.
to go out for coffee and like sit and just
well,
drink a cup of coffee.
according to this list, that's number 17, Starbucks. But here's my
Yeah.
thing though. It's like I I I don't agree with what this is saying, but I understand the spirit of this list because
Mm.
like I feel like where we are in life now, almost in our 40s, like should you take somebody to Applebee's if you are on a track where you make okay money? Like I get like
Mm.
going to these places, all these places on the list if you are like in your 20s, do you get
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like I'm not
Yeah,
saying
like I
that.
stayed at Applebee's because they had the like 2 for whatever 25 menu and you get
Mhm.
margaritas and whatever. Like it's when you're short of money but you still want to have a good time, kind of like
All
the
right,
sort
Chad.
of
Quick
style.
question. So I haven't been home in a while. So can you give me some names of restaurants in St. Louis like that somebody of our age should take somebody on a first date?
Well,
Because
I'm
like
not saying
honestly, God, I really thought like a Cheesecake Factory, Red Lobster was a good place to take, but I don't know.
well,
So like,
I'm not saying that you shouldn't take the person to any of these. I'm just saying like I get what they're saying because like stereotypically a chain is not going to be as fancy as like the new hot local, not even
Or like
hot, but
a
just
Ruth
some local
Chris.
spot.
It's like
Right.
the popular, like
yeah.
acceptable high
High end.
end.
Yeah. So like I mean you've been there. Like I really like we both like Midtown Sushi a lot. Like that's a
Yeah.
fun place to take somebody on a date, but also it's pricey.
Let me say sushi on the list. All right, sushi's not on the list. Okay, fellas,
Well,
we gave you one.
I guess sushi is more expensive. So
Mm.
um hmm I feel like I'm on the spot right now. Like I'm looking at this list too. It's like bowling's a fun date. I've been to bowling on some first dates.
But there's
I'm just
some
like, I
wild ones,
kind of feel
like
on the spot because it's like I've been on all of these as first dates. I went on my first date with my wife on to the movies. We went to go watch Black Panther.
That's to me that's good. But you're really gonna take, I guess. See, this is very specific. The gym, like that has to be very
You
specific.
date
Like
someone at the
that person
gym?
works out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it says take them to the gym. But that to me, that's very specific. Like maybe you guys are both
But that's not
personal
a
trainers
first
or
date.
something.
I think that's like you're already dating someone and you
I
sort of like
mean,
continue
not
to get to
necessarily, because it depends on how you meet, right? Because like if like let's say you meet on an app and like on the app you both say you're into the gym and you're like the way my schedule is, I have gym time, but I don't have date time and I don't want to skip the gym to go on a date. You
So
both
you would date at the gym.
Yeah, you use that what is it that's friends and family membership thing to get them a day pass and you guys, do a set together or whatever.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, we were already dating at that time, but I have gone to the gym with my girlfriend at the time. So I mean, it's not unheard of, but for me, it felt like it would be more of like you already know this person outside the gym. But I mean,
Right.
it's not the craziest thing in the world.
Right.
But I'm reading the list and it says somewhere that requires a long drive.
I get
Okay,
that.
but like,
I get that one
Yeah.
because you just remember this is a first date, so you don't know this person like that, and you about to spend like 2 hours in a car or something. Nah, that's
right,
not good for a first date.
no,
Right. Also, I call BS on sports event as well because it's like, what if you got some tickets to a
you don't
cool
get to
game?
talk to each other.
You can talk at a sports event, like movie night. No, like if you're going to the movies, you can't talk in the movie. You're not supposed to talk in the movie theater, but you could talk at a game.
But the only problem with a game is that like you have to make sure that person is in there. Like if you were like, hey, I'm gonna take you to a baseball game, I don't like baseball, so I'm gonna be bored through this 2.5 hours, 3 hour game or whatever. But if I know this person does like baseball, then it'll probably be good. Waffle House is a wild one. You taking your first date to Waffle House.
But also, if y'all both in y'all 20s, y'all
Yeah,
quick
but that's like
to
20
quick to
stuff.
pop off.
Because I mean, there's a lot of like Waffle House stops or like what's the other one? Denny's after the club or
But
whatever in
that's
your
to me,
20s.
that's like yes, there we go. That's like if I met you in the club or whatever, and then we go get some food afterwards, that makes sense. But it's not like I met you on Tinder or whatever, and then I'm about to take you out to Waffle
But
House.
also
no.
context, guys, context, because not all dates are at night. So
I
sometimes
mean,
you only have time for a breakfast date.
like I would
And
meet somebody for a hike, for a date.
I mean, you gonna go on a first date to a secluded area with a stranger?
I did. Am I crazy?
No comment, but yes.
But I agree with you. So yeah, it's whatever. This is why I'm in therapy.
Oh my goodness. But yeah. So
One more thing. Family functions. That's you
absolutely
bring
not.
somebody
Absolutely
Podcast.
not.
I won't
you
even
just
go to those
met
with
to a
somebody
family
I'm
to like
dating.
Thanksgiving or
Get out
something.
of here.
Yeah, right.
I'm not trying to meet your family on the first date. No. And well,
What?
also, but context. Because if this is somebody if this is somebody that you know in real life and you are trying to do the transition from friends to a couple thing and you ask them on a date to like a family function, that's different. So like you can talk your way out
Like
of
if
all
you
these.
grow up with each other type shit and they already know your
Yeah.
family kind of. That'd
Yeah,
be
that's
kind of cute, but still like a lot of pressure for a
Yeah.
first date.
Yeah.
but yeah. But no, so my what I was about to say was I agree that Cheesecake Factory is fine for a first date, but if all of this love and admiration was for Applebee's, I would call such bull BS because Applebee's is terrible. It was
I
fine
have
in our
a
20s,
horrible
but
story
we
about Applebee's
okay, let's go.
that actually has to do with my dating life. So I used to be such a pushover. We were at Applebee's maybe for like our fourth date, and they had like chicken cutlets, what it's like chicken parmigiano or whatever, where it's like a breaded chicken breast with pasta or whatever. Well, anyway, the piece of chicken was raw inside. And I didn't want to send it back into the kitchen. And she didn't know me very well. We had just getting to know each other, and I was sort of eating around the piece of chicken in like the cooked part because I was like, well, I don't want to cause any trouble. Um, and she was like, "What? Why aren't you eating like your whole chicken? Like, why are you switching pieces? Like, you're eating your meal kind of funny. Is there something wrong with your meal?" And I was like, yeah, like it was fully raw. So, she made us think, in my mind, she like called the manager and like had them replace it and like comp the meal. But yeah, that's the last time I went to Applebee's.
So that's surprising you say that because like I thought they just heated all their food up. I thought it just came to the restaurant frozen.
It comes pre-prepared, but that was a new item, so I was super excited about it. And I guess it was like it came frozen raw, and they still had to like cook it in the back, and was still fully raw in the middle.
Interesting. That sucks. I'm
But I
sorry.
but I was thinking about that part. Is like depending on the situation, I'm like that too, where it's like, I don't want to say nothing, but then there's other times where
Hmm.
I'm like, I'm going to say something.
I feel
But
like
a lot of times now,
in that case, you say
I feel
something.
like raw chicken was
yeah,
was a valid one, yeah.
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 All right. That takes us to this week's discussion of Five Nights at Freddy's.
All you have to do is keep your eyes on the monitor.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's, where fantasy and fun come to life.
Okay.
You must be new security guard.
Can I help you, officer?
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Them.
Mm. In the year 2000, a desperate young man takes a job at an infamous, long abandoned pizzeria with a dark past. Now, I picked that specific synopsis because all throughout this movie, I was like, what year is this? So that was
It
helpful.
was hard to
Yeah.
say.
I wasn't sure what the significance of it being in the year 2000 because I'm not super familiar with the lore. But all right,
Mhm.
so before we talk about movie stuff, you mentioned earlier that you didn't play the game, Miss. So Matt, are you familiar at all with the video game series?
I am not, but my son gave me a brief synopsis of what the game was about before we watched the movie.
Okay. So I've never played the game and I've seen like a few YouTube videos and like from what I understand, the lore is pretty deep. And
Yeah.
so all that being
Mhm.
said, what did you think of the movie? Well, let's do positives only.
Uh,
For me, do you want to go first, Matt?
oh no, you can go first.
Okay. So for me, I enjoy like the cinematography overall. Like it was pretty, it was well lit. I actually even like the dark scenes. Like there was a time where for Game of Thrones, the cinematography was too dark and it was a hot,
Oh,
disastrous mess. So
yeah.
it wasn't on that level. And then I was trying to see if it would keep my attention. So, I had like my regular routine and it did keep my attention. Um, from beginning to end. Of course, there was point there where it at the climax, it was more entertaining. But overall, it was well paced. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Matt, positives.
Positives. I really like the animatronics, and I know that
Mm.
they looked well, I don't know. Based off my son, they looked exactly how the game looks.
Okay.
All of the characters, even the cupcake. And according to my son, there's a lot of stuff in there that we did not know. Like we just watched it, but it was like based off the lore. So like the character with the cupcake, um, that person does it in the game, and him um turning on the light and off, and when they disappear, like that happens in the game.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
visually, like I'm happy that it looks exactly how it does in the game. Um, and the setting of the pizzeria is a nice horror setting to be in. And like Evie said, like the lighting, the darkness and everything, like focusing on certain stuff, it was well done.
So to avoid, talking about how great the cinematography was, because I 100% agree. I really thought that animated intro was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I liked when we did talk about, like, when we did get a little bit into the lore. You mentioned how, like, there were part you were hoping that the movie would keep your attention, and when they be like, "Oh yeah, so 20 years ago when we opened the pizzeria, blah blah blah," I was like, "Tell me more. Let me hear more.
Right.
What do you have to
Yes.
say? What's going
Yeah.
on here, guys?"
I like the training video that he got. Like it was
yes,
very like
yes. I love seeing internal training videos because, like, they're
yes,
so fucking cheesy.
so robotic and
Yeah.
dry. It was so sick. It was
Yeah.
so sick. Yeah.
So yeah, and so yeah, I enjoyed those aspects of it. I'll say that for trivia. All right, so let's do negatives. Matt, why don't you lead the charge, brother?
This was not good. This is not good. I wish that I wish it was a truer horror movie.
Mhm.
We do not actually see the animatronics actually kill anybody.
False.
Yeah.
This movie's PG-13.
Oh, then that's why then.
That
Right.
makes a lot more
So,
sense.
but
It's like we did sort of see death, but it wasn't like blood.
no, yeah, we've seen the aftermath of the killings, and we'll see like the screams before, but we actually did not see anything. And I wish that we would have actually seen more death with the animatronics. And also, like, I don't know the game, so but just based off the movie, I just wish we got more of jump scares because my
Yeah,
son
I think
says in the
it
game
lends
it's
itself for
known
a
for
lot more
jump
jump scares.
scares. And I know like we had one or two in the movie, but my son says the game is is known for having jump scares. So I wish we had more of that. I wish we had more killing. Also, I did not really care for the main character's backstory of his brother and stuff like that. It could have been as simple as, it's called Five Nights at Freddy. This guy's down on his luck and he needs, hey, if you survive in this, I give you $1 million or something like that. And then he has to stay
That would have
there.
been dope. Like a
Right.
high stakes, risk your life for $1 million would have been a better
Right. Because then
storyline.
if he don't have his money, he can't keep his sister and everything else like that to where he has to survive in this and blah, blah, blah. But I still not care for him and his brother stuff because it got weird.
I found him whiny. I thought he was
Yeah.
kind of whiny.
Like he's not you don't root for him in this
Yeah.
movie.
No.
The cop,
you could tell something was awful.
You could tell something was up with
from
her.
the beginning. From the beginning.
Like, what are you doing? You don't have no calls right now? Like, what's up? Go to work.
Right, you building forts or whatever. I was like, there's crime out here in these streets.
Right, and then also it's like 20 minutes before the movie ends. Oh yeah, and then there's a fifth animatronic, and that's the real bad guy. I'm like, oh, okay, so where's Matthew Lillard?
Right,
he was the highest paid actor there, introduced right away. So it's just like, okay, when's Shaggy coming back?
Part of me hoped that they were gonna do a twist and the bad guy was gonna be the lawyer. Because I would at least appreciated
that. Would have been more surprising because he seemed clueless. I love that part though. It has some comedic highlights though, like when he kept trying to get up from the table at the diner when they were like doing the crime.
Yeah.
I felt that subplot was stupid. Like I didn't
It was
like
so
this
stupid.
whole oh she's gonna take my sister away thing. I'm like, sir, you're like almost 40. Why do you have
The
an
price,
8-year-old sister? Stop.
the amount of
Right.
money that the evil guys were willing to commit crime for was laughable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
thousand
Yeah.
dollars to go like
Whoa,
break
wait.
into a place with your homies. I
Hold
was
up, hold
like,
up.
okay, so they break this money down and they're gonna get like what, 200 a piece?
Hold up. This is 2000s money. This is pre 9/11 money, okay?
Oh, fuck out of here. That's not enough money for me to go commit a crime.
And then also they were like, yeah, whatever you find in there, you could keep. And I'm like, this is an abandoned pizzeria. What are you gonna be taking from this?
Why were there coins in that machine
Empty
still? Why
pizza?
were there still coins in that
Right.
machine?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what are you gonna take from abandoned pizzeria?
Oh, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that was like, why wouldn't the coins be like specifically
Tokens.
right? They should
Yeah.
be
Tokens
actual
with
money.
Freddy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some continuity issues for sure. Like, all that murder happened before he showed up to work, and then he showed up to work, and all he had to do was clean up. Like, there was no dead bodies, there was no blood
Right.
anywhere
Oh
that made him
no, Freddy and the
suspicious.
gang, they cleaned that up.
I mean, like, I
Freddie the
feel
gang.
you, but they didn't clean it enough to where he couldn't tell. Like it was some
No.
continuity issues. Just as like if they were going to clean up that well to where they're cleaning up the dead bodies, then why are they not cleaning it up for him to not even know that somebody broke in? You know what I mean? Like it's just sort of like clunky.
And then also it's like I didn't care for the dream sequences either. Like
So lame.
what are we doing? It's like every time, like I get that this is a video game movie and you can't 100% adapt the video game to a movie. I get that. But with the extra stuff they wrote, that's what took me out of the movie. And I was getting so mad at that little
Hey, real
girl.
quick, hold on. My son says that whole backstory of the son and or his brother, that's not in the game. They added that.
That's what I'm saying.
That
That's what
was
I'm saying.
stupid.
Yeah.
They
That's
should
what I'm
have
saying. Like
got
that's the
something
stuff that they
better.
wrote. So it's
Right.
like,
And I feel like a dream sequence, like the dream and then like waking up with like cut, like that's such a lame horror
Freddy
cop out.
Krueger.
Like it's
Yeah.
so old, like that's so like been there, done that at this point in horror that it's like, come on, bro. Animatronic, new concept, let's go.
Yeah. So every time we did the tacked on part, I was like, this is dumb. Like the part when they went to the restaurant and sorry, it should have been his daughter. His
It should have
sister
been his
is
daughter.
his
That
sister
would
is
have made more
talking
Yeah.
to
sense.
Freddy now,
That
and
would
I'm
have
like,
even made more sense. Like if it was like a custody battle and he was like a dad down on his luck and whatever,
yes.
whatever, that would have
Yes.
been even more sense than him
Right.
being a
Right.
40-year-old with an 8-year-old sister.
But
Yeah.
also they could have really just to continue to rewrite this. Like it could have been his he lost his son. And then they had another baby in the daughter, but the wife's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
But
Then
okay,
you have sympathy for him.
right. Because
Now he has to struggle, take care of this child with
the baggage
still
of losing your other kid.
right.
And so
The
I don't know, man.
responsibility.
So it's like they doing this dumb stuff. Like the little girl, she's at the pizzeria talking to Freddy now, and then he goes to the back to talk to the police cop girl, and then she starts talking about the actual Lord, and I'm back in. But then we leave this scene to go back to the little girl talking to Freddy and the gang, and I'm like, how much more of this movie I got left?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Also,
it. It has
I
some
didn't like that.
clunkiness.
Yeah, I didn't like. I it's making it PG-13 makes a lot of sense
Yeah.
now, like the way they did everything, because it's like, oh, how do we stop them like this, or tasers? We get it from this cop.
Is
and
it the
then,
tasers from the game though? I think the tasers
I
are
don't
from the game. I don't know, but I think
I
they
don't
are.
know either. But like, I would like to see this redone on like R. Make this
Oh,
rated
for
R,
sure.
and let this killing come out fully.
And I'm down to make it like I can't even remember what it was, but they did it some movie where
Nick
it was
Cage.
like a bunch of criminals fighting for $1 million. They had to stay in this mental institution overnight and the whole place shut down and whatever, and whoever survived the night got the $1 million. Like it could just be exactly that. I can't remember
Right.
what the name of the movie was. I think something like Endgame. I'll send it to you guys on the group chat
Okay.
if you're
Okay.
interested. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was like everybody in a mental institution, and at the end of the night, whoever survived got the money or whatever, whatever. And then, of course, it got darker than that because it was actual ghosts in the place and like super scary and ambience, kind of like noir.
hmm
But yeah, highly recommend. They could definitely, if they're gonna copy
hmm
anything, might as well do that.
I would like to see a prequel to see
Yeah.
Freddy's open, thriving and everything, and then it like slowly he turns evil and it slowly gets and some I would like to see that.
I would be interested in that, and even just to see if turning evil was part of the plan, like seeing if like having children in a building was sort of like sacrificing souls or whatever. Like it could be sinister from inception. Like that would be cool as well.
Right.
What do you guys think the Rotten Tomato score of this movie was?
For me, I'm not necessarily mean, but I mean, I'll give it like a 50. Like it wasn't horrible. I mean, I watched like trash movies for fun, so um, it
I
was
say
decent.
45.
Evie?
50.
She said 50.
24%. 24%.
Oh damn.
That's wow. Okay.
But
Jimmy,
the
you want to
audience
talk to
score,
them
but
about
the
wasting your time.
but the audience score was 88%, and I don't understand
Huh.
who
I
did
think
that.
because they gave fan service. I think that most of like it was a lazy right. I think we
It
can
was
all
lazy.
agree. Um
Um
and
the people who voted for it or
Rated
people
it.
my son said he enjoyed this movie.
fans. I think it
Interesting.
was just a fan service sort of a thing,
Yeah,
like just to see the world realized in 3D outside the
right.
game, maybe.
He
Okay.
But
said he said that he didn't really care for like same thing we said the backstory of the kid or the dude and his brother, but he said overall he enjoyed this movie.
That's very
And
surprising.
he said that he was excited like all his friends were like when he was telling his friends that he was watching it all his friends were excited and they plan on watching it too.
Interesting.
I would say my nephew and his roommate came and like stayed over to make sure that like to watch it and like did the whole thing. Like, they were very excited and very engaged, but
Mm-hmm.
um he didn't particularly enjoy it as much either. He was disappointed by the output.
All right. We're gonna play over under. I will make a statement with an incorrect number in it. Tell me if the actual number is over or under what I said. The box office for the budget for this movie was $15 million. What's the is
Over.
the okay?
Over?
Yeah, it was $25 million.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
There are 8 games in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise.
Ooh, I have
Over?
no idea. 8 seems like a lot though. So I would
It
say
seems like
under.
a lot.
What are you saying, Evie?
I said over.
Okay. So there's 9 games.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Last
Because
one.
I was like, it's gotta merit a movie fan base.
Yeah. Last one. On opening day, the movie grossed $30 million.
No. Under.
I mean, people are out wild out here in the streets. Um, under.
On opening day, this movie made $39.4 million in America.
What?
See what I mean?
So
What?
you don't even have to wonder they're making a sequel to this.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope they do like an adult sequel and a prequel. Like, please
They
listen to this podcast, whoever.
it made this much money as PG-13. They're not making a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can keep it for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the kids are a big market. Y'all remember
Yeah.
when Frozen ruled the land?
Yes. Yes.
You couldn't let Cher go. Not that year.
So it says, unlike, so this is just me dumping stuff. Unlike most studios using CGI for bringing characters to life, Jim Henson's Creature Shop was responsible for the creation of the animatronics. So those were real animatronics, not CGI.
And they did a great job on that.
No, that 100%. And the last thing is, so the waiter during the restaurant scene, as well as the taxi cab driver, they are YouTubers.
Huh.
So the waiter, he's not, his name is Matt Pack, and he's made a whole bunch of like
Matt Pat?
yeah.
I know of him. He does like
game
essays.
theories and
game theory and stuff. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I don't think I recognized him.
My son pointed him out.
So
the waiter.
So he's made a lot of like theories about the game. And the black guy that was the taxi cab driver, I forget his name, but he's one of the first people to stream the first game that helped it gain popularity. Because, like, you know, the first game was just something that some guy made on the PC, you know. So like if people didn't stream it and make it popular and have all those like, oh, I'm gonna play this game in the dark and stuff, it probably would not have been what it became, you know.
So it's like a roots, what's it, like from the ground up, like a roots movement sort of a thing.
Yeah, grassroots.
And that's good of them to include them in the movie for helping out the franchise. That's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the show, guys. I want to thank you so much for coming on. It was really nice to finally actually talk to you, because like you always liking our stuff. You're always giving us love on social media. And I know you and Matt, you know, go back to your Navy days, but it's nice for me to have actually met you. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for being on. You know, I love you.
You know, I love you too. Thank you for being my first nail technician. You know, that's way before I was even licensed, but you're my first nail client and, you know, one of my oldest male friends. So,
do you have anything to plug before we get out of here, miss?
No, just, you know, keep an eye out. I'm going to continue to be doing stuff. And just,
you don't want to give out your social media or anything so they can follow you, see you do your knitting stuff and everything?
That's crochet, Matt.
Sorry, my bad.
Blender.
Do your crochet stuff?
Yes. So you can follow me on the socials, Eve Olution or more. That's on the TikTok and the Instagram and all the other cute stuff. I'm not on Twitter because Elon is. Anyway. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
We will also put the your username and everything in the show notes so people can see it.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for listening. Please rate, like, and review our podcast on your platform of choice. If you have any feedback, please email us at weusetotalkpod@gmail.com. Follow us on YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. It's a thing. We have it. We don't use it. Do you even use it?
Threads is a thing.
We used to talk pod. Follow me on Letterboxd at BOW1213 and Matt at Mr. King 0257. Come back next week when we discuss the Christina Aguilera and Cher movie Burlesque.
Oh my God, I love that movie. Anyway, I went to the theater to watch it.
And like always, I don't know if this was a good episode. I don't know if it was a bad episode, but whatever you think about it, talk about it at work. Thank you for listening.